What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Transfer Portal Podcast presented by No Context College Football. I'm your host, Dylan Ruben King. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Liam. Liam, thank you for joining us. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? Thrilled to have Jerreth on with us today. Really excited to interview him and talk about this prolific receiver that has carved up secondaries for I don't know how many years. It's felt like a long time down at the FCS level and now at the FBS level.
Yeah, you said it. We're joined by Western Kentucky wide receiver, the FBS leader in receiving yards and receptions, Conference USA Newcomer of the Year, Conference USA first team. I mean, what more can you say about this guy? Jerreth Sterns is joining us. Jerreth, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining us. Really excited to have you aboard, given everything that's going on with, your name starting to blow up with all these awards and, you guys just coming off the title game and with the bowl game coming up. So thank you for joining us. My first question for you is, I said it. I mean, you're the FBS leader in receiving yards and receptions. I mean, what is it like to have a season like this and kind of get that national attention?
It's crazy to think about. Going into the season, I always set goals at the beginning of the year. And honestly, my goals were I only wanted like 1,200 yards, 80 catches, and 10 touchdowns. And obviously, like you said, I'm a lot higher than all of those. And I think that's just a credit to my teammates, honestly. Bailey Zappe is the best quarterback in the nation. And Mitchell Tinsley was an outstanding receiver who makes it a lot easier for me. And then if you look at just PFF, our O-line, I think, is the first rated O-line on there. So I think it's just a credit to all my teammates and coaches for allowing me able to do what I did this season.
Yeah, that offense was beyond prolific. I mean, you talked about Bailey Zappe. We talked to him earlier in the year. We'll talk about that conversation a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, it's been super exciting to watch you guys, keep it rolling after your success at Houston Baptist, continuing that at Western Kentucky. And kind of speaking about your history at Houston Baptist, do you feel like it's difficult to kind of make a name for yourself, like in an FCS school, even though you're putting up so much numbers and, versus now in the FBS?
Oh, yeah, 100%. You look at a guy like Bailey Zappe, he's been doing this for a long time now. And I think he's just now starting to get the love that he really deserves. Because if you just look at his numbers, even at HBU, he's been putting up insane numbers like this back then. And like you said, like now that he's at Western Kentucky, he's getting a lot more national recognition.
Yeah, and so you talk about Bailey Zappe there, and Dylan kind of referenced that we had Bailey on earlier this year, and he really talked you up and straight up told us you're the best player he's ever played with. And I bet you feel the same way about him, and it goes both ways. But he has talked you up so much, and one thing that really stood out was he talked about your football IQ and said you're also the smartest player he's ever played with. And the connection that you two have, we can see it on the field. It's really special. I just want to kind of hear out from you how special the bond is with you and Bailey on and off the field, how connected you guys are, whether it's, I don't know, throwing a 40-yard go route or like just talking up plays, I don't know, at home or something.
It's just crazy because like a lot of quarterbacks and receivers want to be close like this. And I think just me and Bailey really are what quarterbacks and receivers want to be, like just on and off the field. Like we do everything together. Like that's my best friend. Like we think alike in a lot of areas. And it's just crazy to think about just how far we've came over these last couple of years, honestly.
And then another young, bright mind out there, Zach Kitley, who congrats to him on getting the Texas Tech OC job. That's big time. Just another one of these big time risers from WKU this year. I kind of want to get your insight on what it was like playing in his system. And I mean, what it was like learning from such a young, bright mind.
Well, for starters, I owe everything to Coach Kitley because coming out of high school, nobody wanted to offer me at receiver. Like I had a couple offers to go play DB or go play a triple option quarterback. And Coach Kitley was the only school to give me Coach Kitley and Coach Sheely at Houston Baptist were only people that wanted to give me a chance to play receiver. So I'm thankful for that first off. And then just being in that system it's crazy. It's really fun. Everyone's going to get targets. Everyone's going to get opportunities to make plays. Just got to make a play when your number's called.
Absolutely. And you talked about, coming out of high school and playing so many different positions. So obviously with all this, success at wide receiver, you can't really get too picky, but in my opinion, I thought you should have been named a Biletnikoff Award finalist. I mean, I don't know how you couldn't have been given the numbers you put up, but you've said that in a previous interview that wasn't really what you were playing for. But do you feel like you kind of play with a chip on your shoulder? And, what kind of motivates you to play harder? Do those things like getting snubbed for that, does that motivate you?
Yeah, I mean, it's some of the stuff that motivates me. Like I always feel like I don't get the love that I should get. Just I don't know. I don't know why it's been like that, but the dudes that were finalists, those are all ball players. I'm not taking anything away from them. All of them are extremely great wide receivers, and they worked just as hard as I did probably to get to where they're at. But I just feel like some stuff like that just kind of just adds more fuel to the fire and just keeps me going.
Absolutely. And despite not getting that recognition for that national award, I mean, I said it at the top that you were named, Conference USA Newcomer of the Year, Wide Receiver of the Year, All CUSA First Team. You're an East-West Shrine Bowl. So congratulations on all of that. It's a mouthful for sure. But, I know you're laser focused on App State and winning that bowl game, but do you kind of get a chance to look back and admire the kind of season that you had?
Yeah, a little bit. It's surreal to think about. Like, I don't know. Like, you just look back on it, and it's just the numbers I put up. A lot of guys aren't fortunate enough to put those up in a career. 137 catches, just something unheard of. And I'm just thankful for Bailey for throwing me that ball that much.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I remember seeing a few weeks into the season, or maybe a month or so, it was you and Michael Crabtree. I forget what the stats were, but it was just you two on top of the rest of every receiver that's playing college football. You two basically shared a record, and that was pretty cool to see. I mean, obviously, you and your family have an incredible athletic background. I mean, I know your dad played college basketball. You have multiple brothers that have played college football. Caden's balling out with the Broncos in his rookie year. I'm sure the battles in the backyard were pretty crazy growing up, but what was it like learning from Caden as he's embarked on his journey to the NFL? And what advice has he given you as you're about to make that ascension to the pros?
It's a blessing having somebody kind of go through it before me, but actually, we had a brother named Jordan who got a chance at Oklahoma State to kind of go through the whole agent process, the whole draft training, all that stuff. So we kind of been through it a couple times, but just having Caden like there to mentor me through it is a blessing for sure. And like he kind of just tells me to just don't get too high, don't get too low throughout it, and just keep the end goal in mind, and just don't get caught up in any of the hype or anything like that.
That's definitely very good advice. The next thing I wanted to ask you is, when you get to the pros, how do you plan on giving back to the community? This is something that we've asked every player we've had on, and I think it's a pretty unique question with a lot of great answers. What would your answer be?
That's a great question, but hopefully I just go back to where I'm from and just kind of just run a couple camps, just get around the kids there and just show them that you can be the small dude, you can be underrated, all that, and just kind of just show the kids that they can make a difference in this world.
Absolutely. That's an awesome answer. Kind of going off of where you're from, you played for a former NFL quarterback in high school in John Kitna. So, as a longtime quarterback, he's played with and thrown to, so many great receivers. How valuable was it for you so early in your career to kind of have him as a coach to learn from and, kind of get a feel for what he likes as a quarterback throwing to different receivers and, where they should be and that kind of thing?
When I played for Coach Ken, I actually played running back. That's the crazy thing. But just being around him, like, it just kind of just shows you like how a pro carries themselves on and off the field. So like, I think I just kind of like just took that and just kept building on that and just used it as a learning experience for sure.
Definitely. And, we talked about some of the recognition that you've earned, but, as a college football fan, like we were talking about before, it doesn't really feel like enough people are talking about you both as what you've done in college and even as an NFL draft prospect. So what is it about your game that you think that, people shouldn't sleep on you? Like, people can look at numbers and kind of say, wow, he had a great year, but about what you do on the field specifically, what is it about your game that people should should take a look at for the NFL draft and why they shouldn't sleep on you?
I just think I just have really good hands for starters, just consistent, strong hands. I think that's one of my biggest attributes. And then I think I'm just a good route runner underneath, and I'm good at just finding soft spots in the zone and making people miss after the catch.
Definitely have a knack for finding the soft spots in a defense. You're literally always open. It's crazy. I remember the Michigan State game. You had like 17 catches or whatever. It was something light against Big Ten defense. That definitely got you on the radar nationally. But I mean, I want to know what your favorite route to run is and why.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good question. I like our option routes a lot, just because you have so much freedom, and it's just you just winning. That's all it is. And then we have a route called a win route, and that's kind of the same thing, just a little deeper. You can do whatever you want in between the hashes, just get open. So I think those are why. Just got a lot of freedom to them.
Gotcha. What about growing up? Is there an athlete that you idolized or a receiver that you kind of looked up to?
Growing up, my favorite player was Reggie Bush. That's because I played running back and all that. But when I moved over to wide receiver, I was big on dudes like Steve Smith, Beasley, just the little dudes that, just smaller dudes. I just kind of the little dudes who were there before me. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. And we talked about it at the top that you got a chance to play in the Conference USA title game in your first year. So, what was it like to get the opportunity to play in, that Friday night game on that stage and, have such a strong individual performance on a stage like that?
It was crazy. UTSA fans did a good job making it hard on us, but I think it was a blessing to be there in the first place. Probably a lot of people thought we weren't going to be there early in the season. We were sitting at 1-4, but just my teammates and I just did a great job just knowing who we were and just staying confident. And it's a shame we didn't get the job done. And my muff punt kind of put us in a rough position, but it'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've definitely done enough for yourself to get to the next level to NFL, and hopefully we get to hear your name called early on. But for you, what is your career goal? Like when you're all settled down and retired, what do you want to have accomplished when it's all said and done?
Honestly, I just want to be great. I'm just be great. Just go prove myself on that the next level. I've been doing it for years. I did it on the FCS level. I'm starting to do it on the FBS level, and just want to do it in the NFL. Just go prove myself. Doesn't matter. You don't got to be the fastest. You don't got to be the tallest. You don't got to be anything. I'm just a ball player.
People will definitely see you, the surgical route runner that you are, in a few years in the NFL. We know you're going to tear it up there. I mean, you've literally torn it up at every single level. The production is going to continue. You obviously set so many dang records this season and last season, the season before, at multiple schools and multiple like FBS, FCS, whatever it be. But is there a record that stands out to you that like you care about more than any other, or is it all just like just whatever?
No, not really. I don't. About 9 weeks into the season, I was looking at the 158 catches in the season. I was like, hopefully I can get there. But other than that, I wasn't really I was just playing. But yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. What about, if there's one thing about your game or who you are that should set you apart from other NFL draft receivers, what's the one thing that NFL teams need to know?
I think there's a kind of a stigma on receivers that they're prima donnas. I don't like to. I don't consider myself one of those. So I just work and just keep my mouth shut and just work.
I definitely think some NFL teams will appreciate that attitude. That's an interesting perspective, though. That I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just saying, it's not often that you hear that kind of thing. But we have a little segment that we like to do when we bring on players. It's called Pick Six. We ask 6 kind of rapid fire questions, ranging different topics. I just want to see, some of your answers for these. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a pregame tradition or superstition?
If it's a night game, I like to take a hot bath before the game, and if it's early morning game, I like to wake up like an hour before and just watch a cartoon show.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite cartoon show, by the way?
It just not really. It just depends.
Gotcha. Top place you'd want to travel anywhere in the world?
That's tough. My brother spent some time in Spain. He said it was real pretty out there, so I'm gonna say Spain.
Awesome. If you could catch a pass from any current NFL quarterback, who would it be?
Brady for sure. Tom Brady for sure.
Awesome. I mean, with the way he's playing, you might actually get to experience that someday. What is your favorite fast food joint, and what is your go-to order?
Whataburger, without a doubt, and the avocado bacon burger meal.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Who is the best athlete in your family?
My little brother, Josh.
Wow. Is he in what level is he in? Where does he play?
He said WKU.
He's at Western.
That's right. And last one, why do you wear number 8?
I was actually 4 in high school, but then when I got to HBU, Bailey was 4, and they were definitely not going to give me that. So I just said 8 it is.
Awesome. Well, Liam, was there any other questions that you wanted to ask Jerreth while he's here?
No, I'm good, but apparently Josh Sterns is gonna seek out all these records that you said, and he's about to break them all. So we're looking forward to that.
He's a little bit different player than me, but I think y'all be very pleased with how he plays next season.
I see him make some big time plays this year.
Yeah, his yards per catch is going to be insane. Just watch.
Well, Jerreth, thank you so much for joining us, man. I want to congratulate you one more time on, an unbelievable season that you had. I mean, all the records, all the recognition. I can't wait to see what your future is going forward, and I can't wait to see what you do in the bowl game. Are you, what do you have any goals for your bowl game? Anything you're trying to do? Have you looked at like the bowl game records?
Honestly, haven't. I just been watching a little App State film. Hopefully we can win this one and become a 9-win team. That'd be big for us. So that's really what I've been focused on.
Absolutely. Well, looking forward to watching you, and congratulations on everything, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks. I appreciate y'all having me, man.